I hope everybody's having a good week because we are. We're here at Spitball Cinema, and we're here to talk about one of our favorite movies of all time.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
1981. Steven Spielberg.
My gosh.
Movie produced by George Lucas.
Shane is out on special assignment again.
Again.
But to sit in his seat is a person who we've had on before. And we asked her back again because we had so many nice comments about her opinion and everything. And it's our special guest. What's your name?
Stacy.
Yeah.
I'm Scott's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's back again. Tag team back again.
Back again.
So Raiders of the Lost Ark. I remember I did not know anything about this movie going into, but my mom took my sisters and my brother. We went and saw it at Bannister Mall. And my brother's like, dude, it's a movie with Han Solo in it. And so I was in. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, sweet. And wow.
Yeah, probably
Wow.
the best opening scene
Of all time.
in the movie.
Yeah.
It just pulls you in and just, you're in for a great adventure and good ride.
I mean, you were nervous when he comes up and that music, hits in. And plus, we also have to mention that it was kind of cool seeing the Paramount logo turn into that mountain.
The mountain,
or a cave or something like that. And
but you don't see Harrison Ford's face at first.
Till that guy tries to kill him.
Till the guy tries to kill him and
then he just comes up to that camera with the lighting.
And that turn and
man.
I remember my Aunt Linda
I'm like
elbowing me because she just loved Harrison Ford and she was giggling and
dude looked good.
Yeah,
he was unshaven. He looked tough.
Yeah.
We're like, Greedo shooting first. Bump that, yo. Oh. Harrison Ford. And then we got to remember who was with him. A famous actor now.
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And
he was so young in that.
Yeah.
But he didn't last long. He was a traitor.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
He was a traitor.
Throw me the idol. I'll throw you the whip. Never.
Yeah, that little golden
head
thing that he had to switch the sand.
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
I remember after this movie, my brother had to go get a whip and the leather jacket, and
I never had a leather jacket.
Or he wanted one.
So you got a brown heavy coat and a piece of rope.
I mean, he thought he was Indiana Jones after that movie.
You wanted that scar underneath your lip too, didn't you?
And then the bad guy, Belloc.
Belloc, not Belush.
Belloc.
Played by Paul Freeman.
He was a good villain.
Oh, very much so.
I mean, he chased him throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
From the get-go. But I remember that first scene when he was trying to get to that idol. He had, that big ball thing.
Well, wait.
Chased him, right?
When he's first going through there.
Yeah.
Remember there's a little bit of spiders crawling on him. And Indiana Jones kind of just takes his whip and brushes them off. And you look at Alfred Molina and he tells him to turn around and they're just covered.
They're
the whole theater was going,
God, yeah. But he had to go through all those booby traps to get to.
So cool.
Remember, he said this is where Forrestal bought it. And you didn't know what happened to Forrestal,
Yeah.
And then there was that light, and he said, he said, stay out of the light, and Harrison Ford puts his hand up there, and that thing there's like a big
skeleton
spear thing.
Yeah.
It was a gross looking skeleton.
Yeah, I remember his face turns towards you.
Yeah.
And he goes, Forrestal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just knew you were in a ride.
From the beginning.
Oh, my God. Yeah. He throws that.
And then, remember where he goes up and Alfred Molina's like, there's nothing to fear here. And he goes, pushes him up against the wall, said, that's what scares me.
Yeah.
And then he there's these little things on the floor, all over through the floor, and he takes some kind of stick or something, and he pushes down
that dart.
That dart comes
out.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Gosh,
he goes, stay here, and he goes, if you insist, senor. and then going up there when he's gonna, he takes the sand and he's gonna replace it and grab that idol. Now, Vermilion's got his hands up and he's
moving his
fingers while watching.
And then he takes it. Nothing happens. Harrison Ford kind of sighs, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, and everything starts crumbling down. He starts running through there, and those little darts are going at him.
Yeah, he's like, screw it, I'm going for it.
And then the Alfred Merlino jumps over with the whip, and he goes, "Throw me the idol. I'll throw you the whip." And he goes, "Adios, senor."
I know, the whole theater.
And then, and then that thing was coming down. What was it called?
The stone wall.
Yeah, the stone wall was coming down. Harrison Ford's trying to get up, and he finally gets and goes through there.
Yeah.
And then he goes around and looks, and Alfred Molina had ran through the light, and that spear thing had hit him.
Man, that was a big jump scare.
Yeah. It was. Oh. It was gross.
It was.
Yeah. Eyes were all popped out.
Yeah, they were all popped out. Yeah.
And then the big ball comes rolling down there at Harrison Ford, and he's running from. And I was reading or watching behind the scenes. That thing weighed like 800 pounds.
Wow.
That thing, and when you watch, Harrison Ford is running through there, and he slips and trips, and he goes down on one knee. That wasn't supposed to happen. He just kind of tripped, and so he gets up and runs again. But
that'd be scary.
Yeah, that thing, it wasn't,
So he really was scared running.
Yeah, and then he jumps through the cobwebs. And
then all those natives are there.
And then there's the guy that tried to kill him at the first.
Yeah.
With all those darts and arrows in them. And then be like, Dr. Jones, once again we see.
Yeah. There's nothing that you can't,
possess.
You have that I can't possess.
Yeah.
And then the natives start chasing him.
Well, he says, too bad the Vitas don't know you like I do, Belloc. And he takes that idol and he turns it around to the natives, and they all bow down, and Jones starts running away.
He starts running.
And then he looks at him, he goes,
telling
them to go get him. And then they're chasing him down through that field.
With those blow-gun dart things.
They're chasing him down, and he's still got the dust and stuff blowing off.
And he's screaming at the airplane guy, Jock.
Yeah, Jock. Jock, start the engine.
Start the engine, Jock.
What was he like, fishing or something?
He's got a bite, and he doesn't want to. And he finally throws it. And that guy's a real airplane pilot.
Oh, wow.
He really was a pilot that flew.
Probably taught Harrison.
That's the scene where he finally gets to the plane and he jumps or whatever. That's where you first hear that music.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, that iconic, the John Williams, right?
Oh, yeah, John
Williams music. I mean...
Yeah.
Harrison Ford said recently, I can't go anywhere without that music following us. But it...
Shoot, you got to be grateful for that. I mean, this guy has played some of the most...
Well, tell everyone who was originally supposed to play Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah, it was Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Blue Bloods guy.
Magnum P.I., baby.
Well, that's one of the reasons he couldn't do it. He couldn't get out of doing Magnum P.I.
I thought I love Harrison Ford, but I could see Tom... If somebody could do it,
with Tom Selleck.
Yeah, Tom Selleck could do it.
Well, and there was rumors for years that they were going to do another Indiana Jones with him playing the long lost Jones brother, Tom Selleck.
Oh man,
that would have been
perfect. And I don't know why they never did that, because that would have been great.
So much better than that Crystal Skull bullshit.
That would have been better than the Temple of Doom.
Yeah. And just think if they would have had Tom Selleck, Harrison Ford, and Sean Connery.
Oh, man.
I mean, that would have just been...
It's like, just open up your bank vaults and take my money.
I mean, they could have been arguing all the time,
Yeah, that would have been...
Tom Selleck.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie from the get-go just grabs you in the seat. And, I remember playing it with my kids, and they were like, whoa.
I wonder how many people that influenced them to become archaeologists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's thinking they're going on adventures. Next thing you know, they're just cleaning stuff off a little.
Or even filmmakers, because I don't know if you guys remember that story of like the kids from like the late 80s filmed the whole entire Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it took them like 20 some years.
Yeah, it's so cool. And but also you got to remember that scene when they go up in the air, the big snake.
The snake.
What was the snake's name? I can't remember.
Reggie.
You're right. That's my pet snake, Reggie.
I hate snakes, John.
I hate him.
That's where you learned Indiana Jones' weakness.
And to think about the foreshadow, because I was like, oh my God.
Come on, show a little backbone, will
yeah.
you?
I don't blame him on that one. That would...
Yeah.
But it's funny because after that scene, you get to the Professor Indiana Jones, and he's all clean.
All cleaned up, and he's got his glasses on, and he's teaching those kids about different things about folklore and stuff.
Yeah, and the girl that had "Love You" on her eyelids.
Yeah, and Harris Ford kind of stutters for a minute and looks at her and is like, what?
I don't blame her. her. Yeah. I mean, that was interesting.
Dr. Jones had game.
So, from him doing that to that, it was
cool.
It was really neat.
Yeah.
And then what was neat is when Marcus comes there.
Yeah.
And Marcus is waiting for him to get done with the class, and he tells him these Army intelligence guys are wanting to talk to him, and they what do they want to talk to me for? You know?
And who played Marcus again?
Was
Denham
Elliott.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he's been a good actor in a lot of stuff. Very solid guy.
Yeah,
and he takes him in there, and what I liked about that scene is when he starts talking to them. When they start mentioning the Lost Ark,
and that music changes.
Yeah, it changes to this. And they're like, "Wait a minute, are you talking about the Ark?" He said, "Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant, the one where Moses brings the tablets down from."
You see the pictures and stuff, and just everyone gets creeped out.
Well, when he's telling the story, he's like,
they're like disbelieving him.
They said, "Wait, you're talking about the 10 Commandments?" Yeah, it's the ones that Moses crushed down when the Israelites had become evil. When he was up there getting them and stuff. And they said, "Well, why would Hitler want?" The Nazis were crazy trying to find all this religious artifacts and stuff. And they said, "Why would Hitler want something like that?" And he said, "Well." Denham Elliott says it says that the Ark had the power to move mountains. The army that has the Ark of the Covenant on their side would be able to, like take over the world almost because it has so much power. It's supernatural from.
But what I liked about Indiana Jones is that it had the seriousness, but it had a little bit of humor too. Because in that scene you're talking about, and the guys are kind of looking at him like, "Oh, well, you're really talking about the..." And he's like, "Did you guys ever been to Sunday school?
You guys ever been to Sunday school?" And then what was great is when they said, "Well, what does it look like?" And they open up the book, that book that he said, "I've got a picture of it right here," and it shows these lightning bolts going out of the Ark.
Yeah.
That picture right there is giving you a prelude to what's going to happen at the end of the movie.
What's coming, yeah.
And that one guy says, "Good God," and Marcus says, "Yeah, that's just what the Israelites thought."
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, "What are these lightning bolts?" He said, "Yeah,
power
of God or something." Because Jones, he believes in like the folklore, but he doesn't really know if he really believes in that kind of thing. That it would really have this mystical power.
I don't think he's ever came up against anything like that yet.
Well, that's what Marcus tells him. This is unlike anything you've ever...
He was all excited,
Yeah. He said they want you to do it. They want you to go after it. And then he's going to, was it Nepal?
Yeah.
Where they were going to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were going to find a headpiece because his friend Abner had this piece that they needed for the Staff of Ra.
But before that, I always thought what was cool in the movie was, I don't know why, but the airplane and the map and the red line.
Yeah, when he takes
showing
off.
where he's going,
You hear
I don't know
awesome
why.
music.
The music
and everything.
It's drawing you
in.
And
you're just like excited about what you're going to see because some crazy shit's already happening.
Yeah, it's going down. So then he goes to Nepal to find Abner's piece that he needs.
Well, and then that Nazi sucker was on the plane with him.
Yes, in the black, all black.
Dude, I
oh my
forgot
God.
about that.
Ronald
that
Lacey.
guy
he was scary.
Me the F out. Oh.
Ronald Lacey's that guy's name.
Yeah.
He just looked like a Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he did anything else.
He was.
He probably got.
He was born in the United Kingdom though, so.
But he was all in black, and it was you knew when he was on that plane, you knew that he was gonna run into him.
Oh
right.
My God.
And then he goes. What he would told that Marcus before he left. You think Miriam would be there? And that's the first time you hear Miriam. Who's this Miriam girl? And he's like, Miriam's the least of your worries, And then he goes to that bar looking for, and she's running the bar, having that drinking contest.
Yeah.
That scene.
That was so fun.
Karen Allen is one of the most underrated actresses.
Oh, yeah.
I really wish she would have gotten more movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was perfect for that role.
She was perfect for that role. Not only was she intelligent, but she was tough and
smart,
sexy.
Yeah.
And she had the whole package.
Yeah, that's the thing about her is, she wasn't like a raving beauty like Sophia Loren or something like that, but she had this sexiness about her.
Oh yeah.
Even in Animal House, when she was in Animal House,
she was in Animal House.
Yeah, she had that just the sex appeal about her.
She does, man. And a great actress.
She was great. I couldn't think of anybody else to play Marion.
Yeah.
And and not to jump ahead, but with the other movies, the other girls just did not live up to Marion in my mind.
Yeah, they never did.
They just
even Kate Capshaw, even though she was she was beautiful.
Hell.
She was beautiful, but Marion is the one you really. But I understand why they did it. They wanted Dr. Jones to be, kind of
like James Bond.
Yeah, that's how it kind of was.
Yeah.
And George Lucas came up with this concept of this idea. He used to watch all these old serial movie or shows when he was younger about Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and all these adventurous type things, and that's how he kind of came up with this idea of.
Thank God.
Writers.
But that whole scene of Nepal at Marion's place after the drinking contest, and then the Nazis come.
That Nazi show. He's so Ronald Lacey. That's so spooky.
Oh, spooky! Remember when he had the stick, and you're like, oh, and he turned it into a hanger.
Oh, well, that was.
Is that later?
That's later.
That's
when she's captured. That's
right.
Captured.
When she's captured. That's right.
Yeah, remember that's all right. He's talking to her and he's asking.
Got that knife or whatever.
He's asking her if she had. He's got that hot poker.
That poker.
In the fire, and he's stoking it, and they grab her, and she goes, "Oh, wait! I'll tell you where it is." And he goes, "I know you. I know you will." He's like getting off on going to burn her and stuff.
And then the whip happens.
Yeah.
So
and
cool.
you see the shadow.
Well,
awesome.
before that, you see the shadow of Indiana Jones when he walks into the bar for the first time when she's there by herself. You just see this big shadow.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then they get into it. Because she was talking about, I was a child, I was in love,
You know, it's very disturbing, too, because she had to be real young when Jones was going out with her. Because, she wasn't very old. And he's talking about,
I think she was probably like 18 or something like that.
I don't know. But,
you stop it.
They
didn't have a Me Too.
But they got into it. And then he supposedly left, and that's when the Nazis came after the headpiece. Because Jones came to ask her about the headpiece.
Right.
Yeah. She told him to come back tomorrow.
Right.
But then the Nazi guys showed up. And,
with all those Nepalese guys.
I remember being pissed off of her telling him to come back tomorrow. I was like, no, he needs it now.
Yeah.
But when he comes in, they start having that gunfight scene.
Oh, that gunfight scene was crazy.
And the way, the sound of those guns going off and stuff, boom, boom, it was just...
But it was funny, too. It had some funny parts.
Right.
He's getting strangled, and he looks at Marion, who's in the bar. He goes, whiskey.
Yeah.
Remember that one guy's choking Jones, and that Nazi guy goes... Shoot them.
Yeah.
He goes, shoot them both. And that guy looks all
over.
He's like, oh?
Yeah.
But the great thing about Marion was she wasn't a scaredy little girl that sit there and cried in the corner. She would hit him. She hit one over the head with the bottle. She'll
awesome.
She was still drinking. She should have been passed out as much as she
still
drank.
drinking.
So cool. So cool.
And then when that piece was down by the fire, and that Nazi sees it, and then he goes over and he grabs that piece and he. I mean, it shows his face. His face. He's just tongue and he's and he goes running outside. He's like he's putting his hand in the snow and stuff, and everybody's laughing like that. You Nazi
it was
bastard.
awesome.
Got that
man.
emblem burned into his hand.
He's like,
God, that was so gross.
Yeah.
When he shows it later. Oh man.
But then she grabs the medallion. She has a towel and she grabs it.
More like a kerchief.
The place is just her place is completely destroyed,
It's like, thanks,
burned down
Andy.
by fire.
Yeah.
And she tells him, "You know what? Now I'm your partner till I get my money back."
No, that's not what she said.
Well,
Basically, ad-libbing, Scott.
She said, "You're my goddamn partner.
I
I'm your goddamn partner."
I was trying to leave that part out.
yeah, we might have some, some
Well, that's what she said. That was the
religious
line.
people.
That was the
listening.
line.
That was the
That was the
line.
line.
Praise be to
damn
God.
it. You can't be censoring the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they.
And then you saw that cool dun 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 dun.
Yep, going
dun,
off
dun,
on the plane
dun,
again.
plane.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh man, there can't be any more wild stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they end up. I forget Morocco, wasn't it?
Morocco,
Morocco.
yeah.
They go through
Yeah.
there. And,
Sala, right?
yeah.
Sala.
Yeah. Well, they go and Jones is all smiling all the time and shit. Because he's got Mary in there, and then that little
monkey.
goddamn monkey.
Dude, that monkey
Comes
was
over.
cool.
That monkey was evil.
Yeah,
little
evil
shit.
little monkey. He was giving them
he
little
was
Hitler
just-
Hitler sign and shit.
What? Did he really?
Yeah, at one part the
went like
guys went in and did Hi Hitler, and he went, hey.
Yeah, the
The monkey did it, and everybody's laughing.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
you have that
That wasn't a cool
when
monkey.
she
then.
gets kidnapped, and you have that street fight between
Oh,
Jones
yeah.
and all these people. He's trying to find her, and all these guys with swords are chasing them around this whole marketplace with all these baskets on their heads and
He's
stuff.
trying to find her because she's in one of those baskets.
She's in one of those, and she Indy,
Yeah. Jones.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and one goes in there and she conks him in the head with a pan, a
Yeah.
frying pan and stuff.
Mm.
And then, but the scene that everybody talks about during that, when that one guy shows up and the crowd kind of parts like
Oh,
that.
the big samurai
Yeah,
sword,
and he's
dude.
swinging that sword around and stuff. And Jones just looks at him and takes out his gun and shoots him, and the guy falls back. That was improvised by Harrison Ford. He was sick.
He had the flu.
He had the flu and was sick that day.
That's why he had sweat all over him.
Was it supposed to be an actual fight?
It was
between
supposed to be
him
an
and-
actual
Oh,
fight, a fight with him and the guy with the sword. I think he was supposed to use his
And
weapon.
he talked George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Just let me shoot the guy.
Yeah, just let me. So he wasn't even going to jack when he just shot him and
Brilliant.
moved on.
Just the look on
Brilliant.
his face,
One
like
of the best
I'm
scenes.
done.
yeah,
in a
and
movie
everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
started
I remember
laughing.
people jumping up
Yeah, cheering, yeah,
cheering.
But you can see on his chest and his neck and everything, you could see all
All
the
the
sweat.
sweat.
He was
Well,
sick.
it's Morocco, Stacey.
Well, but he was sick.
Well,
you
it's
know.
hot,
It
too.
was-
It's
well, I
Morocco.
know.
Oh, he's gonna sweat more.
I'm not complaining about seeing the glistening of sweat on Harrison Ford's
Yeah.
chest.
I mean,
You know,
jeez.
that was okay.
That's
Better
a
than
nice
having on
Ziploc package of meat there, buddy.
I keep calling her Marion. It's Marion.
I know this ain't Robin Hood.
I know. Yeah.
Wait. It's not Marion?
It's Marianne.
I kept saying Miriam.
Miriam. He keeps saying Miriam.
I thought it was Marion.
No, it's Marion.
Marianne.
Marianne?
No,
Marion.
Marion.
Marion. Marion.
Marion.
I keep saying Miriam.
Gotcha.
Like made.
Made.
What's her name?
Well, her was Marion too.
I used to know this girl in Germany named Miriam. That's why.
Okay, that's another story.
Okay, that's another podcast.
That was my Indiana Jones moment.
Okay.
So then the scene happens. She's in the laundry basket. It gets put up in the truck. The truck explodes.
He thinks she's
Like we're just all
Well, Jones shoots the driver. in the
right,
truck.
and the truck explodes, and you think Marion's dead. I mean, that was
Oh,
horrible.
that's why he was super bummed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I thought his.
What do you think he was crying for the monkey? I mean,
No, I thought he was crying because his blew up.
well, yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's that shallow. I'm just joking.
But
Yeah, it was that part of the movie. I mean, I couldn't believe it that she was dead.
He did
you
get
know?
close to that monkey, though. after she blew up.
Well, Marion said
that was their baby.
That was their baby that looked like him.
The best scene in it was because then after he thought she was dead, then he didn't even care. And he was in that bar scene, and that little kid was in the kitchen making food with dates and stuff. And then the bad guy came in and poisoned the dates. Right?
Yeah.
And
well, that's how the monkey died.
Yeah.
Because that little bastard started eating the dates.
And then it killed him. And then Jones went to flip one up to eat it. And was it Sala?
Yeah.
Sala
grabbed it and he said, "Bad dates."
Yeah. Then
he looked over and sees the monkey dead.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have said.
But then
meatloaf.
Then later on, he's in another part of the cafe, and the crowd kind of parts and stuff. And there's Belloc again.
Oh, Belloc.
Yeah.
You know, he's over there looking for the Lost Ark.
The same thing. Yeah.
You know, and he says, "Jones, do you realize we have a telephone to God?"
Yeah.
You know, he says, "You want to see God? Let's go see him." And he starts to pull out his gun.
Oh, that's right.
Remember,
all the little kids.
All the guys pull out their guns, and all those little kids came and kind of take him out of the solid.
Sala and all his kids.
Yeah. I don't know how many he had. But
he said, "Next time, Dr. Jones, it won't be children to save you."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was great, but I think probably.
What was that guy what's his name that played Sala and
John Rhys Davies?
Dude, he is so good.
He was good.
Oh my
he's in Lord of the Rings.
He's good.
That's right, he was in The Hobbit.
He was in all the Fellowship of the Ring. He was the dwarf.
Hobbit. He was the dwarf, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, he was awesome in that movie, too.
Yeah, I think. And then he goes to find the Well of Souls. Where the map is to the... he goes to the map room to find where the Well of Souls is.
So he had the piece
He had
on
the
him
piece,
the whole time.
and he figured out by that old man figured out that the Nazis had the stick size wrong.
Right, but they didn't have the right piece.
But they didn't have the right piece.
Yeah, and it was wrong.
Wow.
And Jones figured it out, so then they went...
I thought the Well of Souls was the map room. I thought that...
No, the Well of Souls is that other room.
It's
where the art.
But I think that map room scene was...
Oh my god!
Yeah,
the most iconic scene, really.
It's playing that music
and that music, John
and the
Williams.
Sunlight,
and then he puts it in.
And he's got that white wrap around him, which made him so freaking handsome.
And I loved how he broke the stick before.
Yeah, he broke the stick when he was done. And once he got the location of it.
Scott, didn't you get one of those sticks when you were a kid and you were trying to do that? I kind of have a memory of that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
I believe you.
You would like wrap something around your head, and you had a stick, and you were looking for an emblem, and you were sitting there holding it.
I was not.
I mean, it's just I could tell you guys so many stories.
Did you put up like action figures up in the town and stuff like that?
No, I don't know.
He may have.
Did you take
between that and leaving Reese's Pieces out for E.T.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many. I have so many I could tell you. But anyways,
were so coming back.
Yeah, because that's another story. It's another whole podcast.
You know what? All the kids in the neighborhood followed me like Dr. Jones. Every time I'd get into something, I'd have a whole group of them follow me all around. And then
so cool, man.
I mean, I have to relive this.
Stacy was sitting there sticking her tongue out at me.
Well, I was the only girl on the street.
You were Marion.
I was the only girl on the street, so...
She couldn't have been Marion if I'm Dr. Jones.
Well, I mean, don't have that aspect in the story.
This isn't Luke
and
Leia.
This isn't Luke and Leia.
Jesus Christ.
I just remember my brother with that stick, and he was like, his face.
I don't remember.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. But that scene was...
Grandma Ida probably made me a...
Oh, she probably did. That's another podcast, too. All the outfits that Grandma Ida made Scott for his acting.
Oh, we'll have that on our Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some therapy session for Stacy, let me tell you. But that scene was really neat.
It was.
Neat.
And it follows up with one that's even better, is when they know where to dig.
Yeah, well...
And the closer they were getting to that top thing...
The lightning. But you know what? Before that, he found out that Marion was alive.
Oh, that's right.
Because he walks into that tent and she's tied up.
Oh,
and he goes to untie her.
And then he's like,
wait a minute.
I can't... Oh, man.
And she was pissed.
And Belloc comes in and he gets her all drunk, or she gets him all drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Fooling him that she can't handle her liquor. He gets her that real pretty white dress. She looked beautiful in.
Then she tries to escape, and that's when the guy comes in, the Nazi, and he does the thing with the
hanger.
With the hanger. Yeah. You think he's going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he makes it into a hanger and hangs his coat. And then when he's like Heil Hitler, he puts up his hand. You see that emblem had been burned into his hand from earlier.
I did get scared when he pulled out that black plastic.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he's gonna beat her with it.
He's gonna beat them all.
Yeah.
But you're right. When Jones is digging for the well of souls, and he's getting close, but the Nazis are on one side and he's over on the other. Lightning.
But remember though, before that, when that Nazi comes in there, and he sits down, he goes, "Now, what should we talk about?" And he gets this stupid ass grin on his face, God, he's so creepy.
He was such a creep.
So
yeah,
good.
but then when they're digging in the right place, and as they're getting closer, the clouds and the thunder and lightning, and he's getting close.
He's getting close
because God knows he's getting close to the ark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sign.
Yeah.
And then Jones, when they're digging it up, the camera goes to his face, and he kind of looks crazed.
Yeah.
Like he's so obsessed with finding it. He's like, lift! Lift! And he's like young Frankenstein or something. Life! Give me the ark! Show me
Luke
life!
Skywalker shows, do you need my lightsaber? Han, here's my...
Hi, Han.
Hi, Han!
You stop it. God.
Hi, Dr. Jones.
Hi, Dr.
You stop it.
Oh, my God.
So, they throw down a torch, right? And then that's when he does
when they're looking down there, Sala asked him, he said,
why did the
floors move?
Yeah.
And, they throw down the torch, and then there's all these snakes, and that's when he leans
rolls
over and he goes, snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah. Now, that was creepy.
Yeah, all the
snakes. I mean, that was scary.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Into the camera.
Well, then he goes down there to investigate. He's got his gasoline and his torch, but he slips and falls, and that cobra is right there. And you can see...
Well, in the old prints, you can see the reflection.
You can see the glass.
Yeah, the glass in front of him and stuff.
Now, at the time at the movies, you really...
Sala went down with him.
Yeah.
Afterwards, once he clears them all out.
Yeah, but at the movies, you couldn't see that glass. You were just like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah, you didn't care.
That's an iconic scene.
It is.
They always show that scene with him staring down at that cobra in front of his face.
He does that crazy.
They do that a lot in, posters and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the crazy guy all in black, the Nazi guy, and
sealed up
they grab Marion and throw her ass down there, and that Belloc was pissed.
Yeah.
That was his...
He's like, what are you doing?
They were digging up there all night.
Yeah.
But before they throw her down there, remember him and Sala are going through and they find the ark, and they take those sticks. This is the first time you see the actual ark.
The actual ark, they lift
it up, and it's all golden with the angels with the wings.
Yeah.
So cool.
And it was just unreal.
And R2-D2 and C-3PO are on the walls.
That's right, they are. Yeah.
Was Luke?
It's an Easter egg.
Hi, Han.
Hi, Han.
Luke, stop it.
Luke drew it. Luke was down there drawing it with his lightsaber.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
But I never really.
Let's time jump like the Avengers.
I never saw that in the movie, but later on in the VHS and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, there they are.
Well, they pointed it out.
They pointed it out. And you're like, oh, how did I miss
little
that?
Hidden Easter eggs.
Easter egg for Star Wars and Indiana Jones. If you don't know that.
Yeah, so they get the ark lifted up. Sala goes up, and then as he starts to go up, the flags that ropes get cut, and then who's up there? But hello, Dr. Jones. What are you doing? Belloc. Again, the son of a bitch is there again. And then those Nazi bastards throw Marion down there. And No, or she's like screaming, and she falls down there.
She falls on that statue.
On the statue, the tooth breaks. Mm-hmm. She falls down, and then her face is in front of the cobra. That cobra, and it's just.
I just remember her shoe falling off, and the snake
went through it.
Yeah. Well, and Karen Allen talked about it. She said, "Here we're doing this scene, and Harrison Ford's got all these big boots on and stuff, and Jackson, and here she is barefoot, down there in this little dress, She said it scared shit out of her, with all those snakes and stuff.
I like that.
See, that's why when she's crawling all over
that's what I was going to say.
It's legit.
It's legitimate. I love that scene where she's climbing all over his back.
Because she thinks, she sees his whip and thinks it's a snake, and she burns him. And he said, Jesus! Just like a boyfriend and girlfriend getting mad at each other, He's like, Jesus! And then he's like, where'd you get the dress? He's all pissed off. They're in there fighting these snakes, and he's pissed off that she wore a white dress.
Did he give that to you? Give that to you? Yeah. That was a creepy scene.
And then remember when they're closing the lid up, and she yells, "No!"
And then it's silent. Yeah.
What did he? Belloc says, "Saloon chérie."
Yeah.
He's like,
And Salah's like,
Yeah.
And so now they're trying to figure out a way to get out of the Well of Souls.
Yeah. And she gets... He gets on that dragon statue.
Well, he sees that there's snakes coming out from the wall, he knew there was another entrance over there somewhere. So he gets up on that big idol.
And then
he's rocking it.
He rocks it, and then you hear... Dun, 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 dun.
Well, and actually, that broke... When they were filming that, the stunt guy that was doing it, that thing broke too soon. It wasn't supposed to go when it did.
Oh, really?
It went a little too soon, but you never realize it.
Magic of movie editing.
Yeah, and so, but they kept it in and filmed it.
Remember, he's up there rocking that thing, and Marion's down there, and she's like, "Indy, the torch is going out. Indy, the snakes, the fire's going out."
Right. Yeah, and so it's really a great scene when they... Oh, and remember the part where...
the skeleton?
So she's going there, she's trying to find him, and she runs into like one skeleton, and then all these skeletons turn around and they start falling down.
Yeah.
Falling down at her, that
was creepy.
Yeah, they were all over... I mean, it made you feel like... It's almost like you got spiders all over you. You're just... You got all these dead bodies.
It reminded me of... the scene in Poltergeist, the pool scene.
Right, where they're all
and it's
going
so
all over.
Creepy.
And then remember when that one turns around, it's got that snake
in its mouth.
She's like,
that.
she screams so loud I'd have peed a little.
And he's like, Peregrine, come out, Peregrine.
Yeah, he just grabs her out of there.
Yeah, and then they finally pushed that big stone out, and they were able to get out.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a.
And then you get to the part where. Did they get separated? They didn't get separated when they go to the plane thing. He gets in a fight with that big mechanic Nazi. That he's not. I don't know if he's really a Nazi, but he's like
he looks like a bodybuilder almost.
Yeah,
he's got his shirt off.
What he looks like is in the old 30s
with the mustache
or in the big barbell in the boxers. That's what he reminds you of.
Yeah.
And then they gets in a fight with them, and that plane starts.
Such a bloody scene because he punches Indy in the mouth and nose, and when he falls to the ground, he spits.
I know. Marion gets in the cockpit.
She's in the cockpit,
and the thing closes down. She's locked in there, and then that guy yells at him, and then they get in this fight.
Yeah,
and he's like bloody, and that guy's living. Remember? And then all of a sudden. These Nazis are coming out, and she's shooting them from that cockpit in there.
Yeah.
And that one scene, man, the guy he's trying to fight Jones, and all of a sudden Jones looks up, and he covers himself, and then that blade.
That propeller,
all you see is this blood
just splatter
all over the place.
But I love that scene, too, is when they shoot, or he shoots her out, or whatever, there's that huge explosion.
Well, because the gas was
leaking. And Belloc and the Nazis heard it, and he said, Jones.
Yeah.
He knew it was him.
Bitch. You know, yeah. You got
And then I remember whenever that was done and over and it exploded, then another, like, unexpected explosion.
Right. Well, it hits all the gas.
Yeah, but it was kind of like delayed.
Well, Stacey, they can't all explode
I don't think that was. I think that was unintentional.
You're getting a little.
Well, now if you look at their reactions, they look okay. Shush. Oh my god. Then they ended up on that ship.
Right. They get with what's his name?
That captain.
No. Sala takes them to the submarine.
The submarine. Yeah.
Remember, he's that black guy. He's like from some
Somalia or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's actually friends with Jones.
Right, and Sala and them, and they get on the ship and they hide him. And then you have the little tender moment with him and her in the bedroom thing.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Where does it hurt?" And he's like, "Here."
Yeah, because he's all sore and stuff. She's wanting to kiss.
He's got cuts and bloody all over, and she's trying to wipe the mirror to look at herself and flips the mirror, hits him in the mouth,
and he starts yelling.
He's screaming. Yeah, that was a good scene.
It was really good. But then the Nazis get aboard the ship.
Yeah.
And remember, they get a hold of they capture Marion.
Yeah.
Marion.
Yes.
They capture her, and remember they bring him out to that captain, and he says, "Where's Jones?" He said, "I killed him."
Yeah.
Remember he said, "I killed him." Because he said, "I wanted the girl, so I killed him." And Nazi looks at him and says, "Savage." Damn Nazi said, "Savage." You know? And then they take her off, and the captain's like, "Man, where's Jones at? Where's he at?" And then all of a sudden, he there, and they're swimming across.
And all the crewmen are just
yeah. And he's like, you know, and he gets on the Nazi ship.
And then goes
to like that under. Was it no? Where did it go? It
was just a desert.
Yeah,
it was like a passageway.
Passageway
to the desert for the finale.
For the altar and stuff. Yeah.
And remember, they're like, "How are you going to get the Ark back?" And he said, "I'm figuring this out one step at a time." And he comes out with that horse. Everybody starts riding that horse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where the fly goes in the guy's mouth. Oh wait, is that the wrong Indiana Jones I'm thinking of?
No, that was that was earlier. That was earlier.
Oh.
That's later on. I mean, that's when he was talking about you're getting ahead of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
God,
sorry, I'm excited.
But then he rides that horse and he's chasing that Nazi truck because they've loaded up the Ark.
Yeah.
You know, and he jumps in. There's another iconic chase scene. He jumps on that truck, throws the driver.
Yeah.
Throws the driver out. Does he throw the driver out then? He throws one of them out and he starts punching that guy. Mm-hmm. Gets in. He throws him out. Gets into the driver's seat. Takes off. And then another guy. They're chasing him. Meanwhile, the Nazis are chasing him behind him, and the other guy
throws him out.
Yeah. Well, he gets into the side. No, they shoot him in the arm. He gets shot in the arm. The guy shoots him from the passenger side. Shoots Jones in the arm. And then he starts hitting his arm.
Yeah.
Well, how does he get out on the hood?
The Nazi throws him out.
He throws him out. Yeah.
Throws him out.
And
that little emblem starts breaking off, and he goes up underneath the truck, and that is an iconic.
Yeah.
That stunt that he did was first. You want me to tell you this?
Sure.
A little history.
Yeah.
That stunt of going was first used in 1939 Stagecoach with John Wayne.
Oh.
Yakima Canute did that under Stagecoach, the horses and stuff, and going up underneath the stagecoach like that and getting back on. And they just used.
So they played a little homage.
To Yakima Canute.
To Stagecoach.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Very cool.
And so then Jones comes back up, throws that guy out, and then they go back. Remember, they hide the Ark in like that little market. Is that when they hide it in the market, right?
The market?
Yeah, I remember that he's got the truck. He's stolen the Ark, and he goes and they go into the market. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was this one scene, and these guys are coming up to the Nazis trying to sell them fruit. Yeah. And the guy grabs the melon and goes, "You bastard!" He like throws the fruit on the ground and busted it and shit.
Oh my God.
So how did he end up getting the the missile launcher thing?
Well, let's see.
Was it in the truck that he was driving?
It probably.
Yeah. But they get back Belloc and them get back the truck. How did they do it?
I don't remember.
Did I get this mixed up somehow? Maybe they got maybe the white horse is when they stole the truck.
Yeah, I don't.
I think that came later or something. But anyway, they get back to the. I think I got that confused.
With the chase earlier.
Yeah,
with
the
the
chase
earlier.
chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think after he got that truck, you see them going through that passageway, and then he sits with that.
Remember Belloc, and then they steal the Ark, and then
they're going to that place.
They're going to the place where they're going to open the Ark.
Or they're going to open it in the desert.
Right, and then Jones gets the rocket launcher, and he's going to blow it up. And Belloc's that's when they show that fly go in his mouth.
Yeah, that was so gross.
Yeah, and he said, "Go ahead, Indiana Jones," but he knew that Jones couldn't blow up that Ark because it was too rare of a find.
Yeah,
too rare of a find.
Because they were a lot alike.
They were a lot alike. Even though they were mortal enemies, they had a lot of common interests. Except that Belloc was doing it for monetary
power,
and monetary gain. And then comes the end.
Oh yeah, God.
The ending.
My God.
Oh my God. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
I hadn't either. And
one of the few moments in movie history growing up that traumatized me.
Because they were filming. Remember, the Nazis are filming him opening up. The Ark, and Belloc's got this
like Pope outfit.
Pope robe.
Yeah, he's got this religious robe on, and he's speaking all this language. I think it might have been Hebrew.
Yeah.
And he's talking.
Yeah, and that guy in black was there.
Yeah, the Nazi. The Nazi, and then that other Nazi general or whatever it was. And they're opening.
Jones tells them to shut.
Well, they got Jones and Merriam are tied up to a pole.
Yeah.
And they're starting to open it up. And he puts his hand in there and he picks it up and it's just sand.
Just nothing. It's just sand.
Nothing. And then all of a sudden you start hearing the cameras kind of popping.
Well, first you hear the Nazi guy laughing.
Yeah, the Nazi guy. He had that one.
Well, then he looked down and he sees lightning in the sand.
Well, wait. Because when they started hearing all that stuff go off, that's when Jones tells Marion to close her eyes.
Shows her.
Yeah, close your eyes. Marion, close your eyes. Close your eyes.
No matter what you hear.
No matter what you hear, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Belloc looks down and you see this like some kind of spirit thing start to come in. It's like a blue...
you think it's an angel.
Blue eye. And a bunch of these little other spirit things are coming out of it, and they're going around the Nazis, kind of terrorizing the Nazis a little bit.
And Belloc says, "It's so beautiful."
It's so beautiful, and you see this
and that creepy music.
You see this angel thing come out, and
it looks at the camera.
Yeah, it looks at the camera, and then it just turns to a skeleton,
like a death skeleton.
And then Belloc's like, ah, and then that Nazi. and
then the general guy's like,
there's a scream, and all of a sudden the general and that Nazi dude that's been an asshole to the whole movie just their face just melts off.
Remember they were like shaking.
Shaking and just melts blood.
Oh my God!
And Marion's wanting to open it. He's like, "No, Marion, keep your eyes closed. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Don't look at it."
And then the lights come out and start.
The lightning bolts come out and start going through all the Nazis.
Yeah, and then as those guys, and then all of a sudden it pans back to Belloc and he just explodes.
He explodes.
Just explodes. I mean, just his whole body explodes because he's such an asshole.
Yeah, and then all the bodies, the Nazi bodies where the lightning went through, start going up in the air.
The cloud. Remember, the cloud opens. The cloud opens up, and it's
the ark lid. Flies up.
Well.
The lid flies up with the guys.
Not yet.
Oh, God damn
it. It sweeps them all up, and takes them up out of the clouds. And then as the things, you see the ark
Didn't I just say that? I just said
but
that.
I didn't see the Ark lid go flying up. It didn't show that.
It flew up with them. Well, it had to have.
I remember that part.
You didn't remember shit. Yeah. You couldn't even remember what part the horse went.
That was you.
I know.
That was you.
Yeah, it wasn't
I got
me.
it all confused.
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
So I guess we needed Indy here.
So I see all that cool shit
And then,
go inside the Ark.
And then like the lid comes down and it's just
Boom.
quiet. And there's not a knot. Everything's gone except Jones and Marion.
And it's really a testament to like the power of God.
Yeah.
I mean, God wasn't going to let these Nazis come and jack with the Ark.
Yeah.
He even sucked up the film things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The only ones he left was Jones and Marion.
Yeah.
Because he needed a sequel to Indiana Jones.
Oh, well, I don't know about that sequel, but...
Yeah, but he
well, you don't mess with the power of God.
Yeah, and it just showed...
Good versus evil.
And going back to the beginning of the movie, it's the same thing that...
In that book.
That he was showing the military intelligence guys.
God knew the good versus the evil.
They weren't going to use the Ark for evil. He wasn't going to let that happen.
Yeah.
You know, because even in the Bible, originally in the Bible, like you couldn't even touch the Ark of the Covenant, or you would die, because it was a holy thing. You didn't touch it.
Power.
Only there's talks about the Ark starting to slip and somebody went to grab it and they died instantly.
They died, yeah.
Because they touched it and they weren't holy men. But even though he was trying to help, can you imagine that guy when he got upstairs? Really?
Right.
I was just trying to help. Trying to help.
Yeah. Didn't see the warning sign on the side of it.
But, and it was just like, then Jones and her are just shaking. They're just shaking because of what they felt around.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh my God. I mean, gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry, guy.
Yeah. Then the next thing you see where they're back at the college and the university, and they're talking, to the military and our intelligence, and Jones and Marcus are like, where is the Ark?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, we got top men on it. And he said, who?
Yeah.
And the guy looks at him and says, top men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as they're walking out, Joe's is like, fools, Hippocratic fools, And it was just...
and then they pan to that warehouse.
Well, Marion says, let's go get a drink.
Yeah.
Which always made Mom mad. She didn't like that. She didn't like people drinking for some reason. But so they go off and then you...
Wait, what?
My mom don't like when people drink. She thought it was horrible. They were going for a drink. Could
have been an iced tea or a soda joint.
Yeah, Jones is going to go have an iced tea with this alky that he's dating. So then they show the Ark being like put into this crate. It's being nailed down.
Property of
U.S. government. Top secret. Putting it in storage with all this big, huge,
massive
artifacts, all kinds of stuff they've been collecting.
That was the craziest movie.
And then you heard the music.
Then you heard the ending.
Yeah. Such a good movie. But
good
movie. I liked about it is, which is what we lack nowadays. I feel is like it was just an original story. It was original back then. I mean, we didn't have any other movie like that.
Yeah, we didn't get bombarded with remakes or reboots.
Yeah, it was just very, very original. That's what I loved about it. Yeah. And anytime it comes on TV, I'll watch it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you never seen a movie like that.
No.
To then, I mean, at least for our generation, this was kind of a new, exciting adventure. And this thing basically, all the movies made, Alan Quartermain and the National Treasure movies. That's why those are so popular.
Right.
Because this type of movie. People love this adventure.
Yeah.
Especially when it's dealing with archaeology.
Yeah. Because there's a fascination.
History, yeah. And isn't it funny? I always found it funny with the Raiders of the Lost Ark. The most popular movies of the series always had to do with religious artifacts like the Ark.
Yeah.
The
Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. The ones that didn't do as good was like the Temple when it dealt with the occult.
Right.
And what was
Time Machine.
Yeah, the crystal
skulls,
yeah.
and then that abomination of the last movie.
You haven't even watched it all.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I haven't watched it.
It was bad, but it was better than the Crystal Skulls.
I don't know about that. This one was pretty bad. Dude.
Oh, I don't know.
Really bad. I thought I was watching the Polar Express a couple times.
I mean, I know we're talking about Raiders, but I think the Temple of Doom was just the worst one for me.
Really?
Oh, I
well,
hated
we're not
it.
going to go into Temple.
I know.
That's for another episode.
I know.
All right,
I know.
we'll save that. You'll be on for that.
Yeah.
Because I gotta know why you hate that.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Oh,
really? You
Oh.
and Tarantino.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
He thinks it's the best one out of the three.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
my
it was
I don't think so.
God,
I think this one was.
So that's the reason why the PG-13
I
rating
think
started?
Raiders and Last Crusade
I do too.
best.
I do too.
Well, no, I mean, I like those too, but I love the second one just as much.
The only thing good was Kate Capshaw because she's hot, and then Short
It
Round.
was
And
funny, man.
There was nothing good about Kate Capshaw
She
in that
was
movie.
hot, Stacey.
Yeah, but that's
it.
fine. But her
But, like, the woman-
screaming.
the
We're
one-
not going to go into
The
Temple
character
of Doom.
called for that, and she did a good
Oh.
We're
job.
not going to go into
Okay,
that
we'll
yet.
save that. We'll
Yeah.
save that.
Yeah.
All right.
You got that little goony,
Sorry.
that little goony fucker running around in it. You know.
Stop it! He won an Oscar.
You
Yeah.
call him Dr. Jones.
Yeah, Dr. Jones.
We'll leave that one for another
Yeah.
time.
I remember when we went and saw it at Bannister Mall, the film burnt. Did I say that already?
No.
No, you didn't.
The film burnt, and we the manager of Bannister Mall Theaters came into the theater and goes, "Well, you guys can wait 15, 20 minutes, or we can give you a ticket for a later showing when we get the film reel fixed." Not one person got up from that theater. Everybody stayed because they wanted to see the
Because
rest
it was
of the
so
movie.
good. Yeah.
Dave, don't be dramatic. Don't be dramatic. There was no bullshit like that. You know, somebody got up and left.
Do you have a picture of that costume that he
There's
was?
probably that little old lady in the
No.
back. What
Damn.
Are you telling me that everybody stayed, even the little old lady who was holding her pee for 2 hours? I don't think so.
No,
You got to go out and use the restroom. I believe they actually gave everybody free popcorn and drinks too.
Oh, they didn't get no free pop.
Yeah, they did. This is back
I
when
could see them doing
they
that.
wanted everyone to stay. They didn't want to give them because that movie
Well,
was
his-
selling out.
His point is nobody left because the film was so good.
Yeah,
I know what his point was.
You don't need to be an ass about it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know what his point is.
if you think Scott's being an ass, comment down
I
below.
think he was being a little dramatic.
Scott, he's not.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
that would
is gonna.
have. That would have sucked to be able to go through the movie and it.
Whatever they got for.
Okay.
That's going to conclude Raiders of the Lost Ark. Again, if
Yes.
you like this video, please subscribe and like.
Forward it to your friends.
And if you have any
Share it.
suggestions, comments, complaints, please send to spitballcinema@gmail.com. You can always leave comments under the video when they're posted also.
Yeah.
Bye.
So have a good night. I'm Scott
I'm David.
Stacy,
Thank you, Stacy, again.
you're welcome.
from Spitball
Cinema.
signing out.
This is awesome.
I can't believe I got that.